What's up, Buffet? Welcome back to yet another episode of Conversations with Influence. Seniazi Kamanguzola, you know the channel, we've introduced a new segment called Conversations with Influence. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do the right thing, man. Comment on what you're about to hear today. Let us know your views and stories. As you guys know, the purpose of this segment is to share and have conversations with people who are the leaders in their fields, people who are influential in their fields, and we hope that through these stories you'll be able to take something and apply it to your own life in order to build a successful life. I've got a very, very important guest. You guys it's been a struggle. Coach Sne, old man,
sure.
Welcome to our podcast.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
For those of you who don't know Coach Sne, I asked you about Shalapi. When you talk about Sinethemba, this is the man that you talk about. Now people are about to find out. You know what's up. So, good man.
Sure, good man.
Tell us a little bit about Coach Sne. Because I know I was a Coach Sne.
Yeah, sure. 100%.
And man.
Yeah. As well, already I'm getting emotional, you know, because I'm here to talk about my story, basically, you know, where I come from, who I am, and of course, where I'm going in the future. So, Sinethemba, you know, all the way from the Eastern Cape in Tat. Yes, 100%. So, you know, growing up in Makaya, you can only be Utichala, Udokta, and stuff like that. So, from the magazines, you know, from a newspaper, one get a petty briefcase, they clean, and getting up with flight. Never come in, you know. Yeah, but get from up, you know, and to a point that Mama end up where we you know. Tina, we were the family when you know, the whole village knows, you know. My mom and my father, they're going to be fighting. And of course, as kids, we're going to be on my mother's side and be like, Mama, no, man, you know. So I grew up, you know, telling myself I will never drink. You know, I will never be like the kind of a guy that my father was when he's drunk, you know. Otherwise, my father was a legend, you know. But he was drinking a lot and they were always sleep and stuff like that, yeah. But up on your corner, I finished my matric. Funding the solusa, you know. There's Lalin funding. There's solusa, quite plastic, Mzagelo Parker, Matsutamdu rice.
Exactly.
You know, and at the time, I won't lie, it was never a problem. That's how life was at the time. You get what I'm saying? Like, polish is done. Aiki polish, you have to take a brush, uchichis a bar, and again, that was never a problem. It's not like Uzagelo, at the time. I'm not sure if you get what I'm saying.
I think because I think it's not like,
and we were thinking that was normal.
It was normal.
Only now that I'm thinking about this kind of things and I'm realizing, no, that was never normal. You know, so it was low on the way as well. But the Kabelin, did my grade 12, and from just like in a black child, moving from the rural areas to big cities. And then I came to Cape Town, you know, and the whole game was to be here and study, you know. And when I got here, things didn't go like and I think after high school, you know, it's another life. And after graduating, it's another life.
Yeah.
And after getting a job, you know, after you've got the job, it's another life, you know. There's experiences. So when I got here, I didn't get school. Then I found up a CPUT. And I had to now, you know, find, you know, in the Wuhlala, I to my sister in Lokshin and Philip. And when I got to a Philip, my first job was buying a meat in the streets, getting paid 250 a week.
So in terms of Philip, are you advanced at the time?
No, it's school. And it's 2011.
So was the upper?
This was
full school. Okay, cool. Okay.
Is the upper was full in 2011? You could be matric, I'm 2010. And 2011, I'm 21. You know, so trying to figure out how this money score. Yeah, so I'm like, okay, let me take this year sort of a gap year and find a job. So in the sister yam, the fumana yotunyama yabo, and I'm getting paid 350 a week. And I wasn't happy with that. And at that time, we kind say and already this born as someone who should be changing the game for my family, especially for my mom, because zange waspana umama ebomini bakho. It's like ngaba abantu bangazange baspana. Utati binguye into ayisakha amadonga, efaka imali endlini, and I'm the only guy in endlini. It's 4 sisters and then
Yo.
Yes, but
got too much love. No, you mustn't think of growing up with sisters though. I feel like what's this? Like you privileged because sometimes I'm care man. Yeah, we about brothers but life but at least those back they still show you love and all of that.
No, my sister loved me, bro. Kakul. Kakul, you know. But now I was always like, hey, if they did a brother, someone who's a you know, no one betting was struck with. I'm not the kind of a type of player. So when I got here, bro, life started to change. You know, I started to realize that honestly, life is real. You know, because in that same year, now the whole game was never real about me. It was about Olitla. For me, I was clear of what I wanted, where I wanted to be, you know, how much I wanted to change in the situation. Was clear. That 2011 was buying this meat in the streets, getting paid 350 a week. Wasn't happy with that. And but I used to have this inner conversation and saying, Sinethemba, you're grade 12, what else are you going to do? You know. But my belief system was that something was going to come up, you know. So from washing I was now selling this meat in Kalelewa Crossroads.
So at the time, what was a Cape Town?
Even he walks. No teta. So it was experience, to be honest. And, but from up, I like the fact that I remained, you know, rural. You know, because I think in Natega, and even now, maybe when you see me in the distance, you kind of see this guy. I'm not sure if you get my point.
No, of course.
But when you spend time, you get to realize, no, man, this is a rural, you know.
Still, because and we are born again, to be quite honest, like, like what's the Cape Town Center? It's called as a value. It's like that says because as being in isolation, is like the sense of community, okay, sharp. We are miles on you and all of that. And I feel like Gikapa most of the time is like all men for himself. Especially and you lose sight of those. So 2011, Tanzania Stratway. And are you it must be a back so go like you seeing in magazine and you seeing abantu bahle bangisuit. So is there a particular career for
Not at all.
And cooler?
To be honest, not at all.
Yeah.
But I can tell these are the business people. So it's always about being, you know, a businessman.
So you are like, okay, entrepreneurship, independent and all of that. So 2011, Tanzania, So 2012, do you then look for school and apply?
2012 send community dependent school.
We hustling.
Send hustling and send bonile nje masenilapha eKapa. Yebo. I'm going to share the story because eventually I became a taxi driver. So bese ngibona izinto ngezinto ngibona abantu abancinci lonufumase babafundanga but uyaphila. So bese ngibelieve ku business now. Isikolo was never an option now, not anymore. Yebo,
So you mentioned like taxi business. How do you get into that and when? At what point?
Because what happened from ukuthengisa lenyama esitratweni koluzuko ebesuthwini esilotini yabo from apho ndiyena zohlamba idix apha etown. That is still 2011.
Nah.
The commands apha eCastle le ndawo yamajoni ndinyuka izidebs ndibona izistudents zisiya eCPUT. What comes in my mind is Sinethemba wawuze eCape Town to study apha eCPUT. And now ubona izistudents zisiya
life
and when uhlamba idix mostly nabantu abahlala esitratweni you know abantu abaseli wine abahlala esitratweni. You get what I'm saying? But mina bengisoloko ndinekwethi which is I still have nangoku umnomo wami ndingumuntu onekwethi it's only a matter of time. You know, things zizaba right, zizawutshintsha. It's a matter of time. So nalapho benivele it's a matter of time. But ke to cut it short kulapho ndifunde khona uqhuba iteksi. La nto yohlamba imoto uyise phambili.
Manje kuthiwa
Nanso kulapho ndifunde khona uqhuba iteksi ke bra. So 2012, 2013, 2014 and early 2015 bensaqhuba iteksi. I think that's almost about 4 years if not 3 years. Yeah.
So graduated from uhlamba to movie.
Kaloku andisayanga esikolweni zona.
No sense in terms of like the taxi business.
Yes.
Kale ngohlamba. You had a license at the time.
I had a license.
So you get to a point where you decided, but you know what, I'm going to pursue.
Yeah.
Le nto
Taxi. Ndaba ne-license ke ngoku 2012.
So like, I was wrong, like you mentioned, but like, you know, sometimes the road less traveled, doing something that other people are not doing. And ujonga abantu abaphila lo life or uFamu uzawuphila. Xa uhamba uphethe lamanzi unyuka phaa kweza taxi ubukela abantu beqwayobhaka, didn't you feel like a failure? Or how did you feel? Or did you still believe ba yazi ntoni le even though like le ndlela ndiyihambayo is not le ndlela bencifama ndizayihamba, I'm still going to change my life around?
Izolo, your question is very powerful. Now that in my life, I'm mentoring people. I'm helping people change their lives. It's for me at this point in my life. It's no longer about me. I help people because I know anything's possible. You know, if I can turn my life around, and I know what I'm talking about. I've been where they are, and even worse. You know. So I always had this thing in me saying, it's a matter of time. I came here to study. They're driving Polo, Vivos. They have some apartments, you know.
Well, it was a committee.
Like, the committees. You know? The committees. I remember this guy's in Anfuna was in Tata. And the other one passed away. He was my friend back in high school. Hey. Rest in peace, Nonaya. They came, man, up to school, they had District 6. And they came to see me up here and give Shambles gigs. And Nagalan Soko Jungu, positive. Yes. So it was easy for them to say, hi, you know. But to be honest, Lano yani cheka. But I've been going to it's a matter of time. Yes. And I don't blame them. They have all the reason to say what they were saying at the time because of the relationship we had. Yes, yeah. So it's a matter of time. No matter what happens in my life, even it's a matter of time. Yeah.
Like, you know, it's funny stories that I was the other way around. Like, now, when we literally matriculated at the same time. 2011, when I went to varsity, the situation was tough, you know. I was struggling. Yeah. And when Jonga Majida, I'm a young, I was going to call center, I felt like a failure.
Yeah.
They were like, so much down. It's the varsity, you know, which is interesting when now Jonga Band, they say varsity to 10 years old. When I was following the path that I was following, and then, like, because it was so hard, because I'm like helping and traveling to UWC and not eating. At school the whole day. I was living any family member that I can find that was closer to UWC. And like I felt like fuck, I'm failing because I don't see ladies and they rap. And God, when I'm much the Vienna escape, I'm a young if I see that was house party. But I won't money man. And you buy as a creator, I was thinking do it. So it's funny how like when you're in Ijenia, there's a lot of doubts, you know. So in full like what keeps you positive? Because you say you always believe, but it's not so like how what keeps you positive? It will mean what is it that like what then their driver?
At first, what a powerful question. At first, to be honest, it was always Old Lamb. There were times Old Lamb for myself about Kabana no mama. I'm sorry, no dad. Gali was Tina City, hi mama. But if there's one thing that I can tell you about the time alarm, as much as but Tina bra, we grew up in Gotando. Xa ivuke ekuseni time alarm uzisola ngehlobo loba ulila inyembezi ucela amaxolo into yayibuhlungu bra uyayibo so sikhula ngothando but mna ndandiqonda ngoba now that ndim-experiencile ubomi bukamama engengomntoni wabencancam now I want to make sure i-old lam lihika. So my why was always the old lady, you know. So that was the push to a point that 2011 kufika kwamapikapa I didn't have friends. I wasn't dating, you know.
Focused.
I was focused, you know. But I wasn't dating. It's not like
I know. Because obviously I asked about what's
sure,
it takes your time.
Yeah.
I mean, so you need to service yourself.
Yeah.
No relationship. I mean, I don't tell you can't be taken.
So from our point, it's been always about the family. You know, the kind of a guy that I am right now, maybe. I had a dream of becoming the person that I am. What I've provided for my family, which is, I think I'm going to share later.
Yeah.
You know, it was a dream. You know, so I can't to be focused. And when someone has but if friends is if so ndandizijonga ndiziboma ndizukuyo yabona so ndimdaka ndijinyama ndiselomuntu yahaslisha ndithanda ubala imali xa ngilapha everything. But when abra 2012, which is my second year in Cape Town, ngizodibana, you know, I met this girl, you know, who's my wife today, you know. Who's my wife today. And that's when the whole game changed, you know. She's beautiful, you know. Yes.
Yeah.
And to tell you the truth, yena akanda nokucima ngomfana mhlawumbe osebenzayo because ngumnqobi chino zomakha
okay so it's drivers young, okay, sure,
you know, clean,
sure.
And ndabona mina basiyathandana nalo muntu but asithethe ngendime nothando
nidibana ngesibuluva kancinci
uthi sidibana emthandazweni esitratweni sakhe.
Okay,
kukho enye ihotman esolekileyo brother, a friend yam, you know, but naye was a strawberry, they know this guy, you know. So mna ndibona lo mntana okhalayo apha and ithemba yamisa ndixele nje manje ngajuni ngoba andikufuni apelo andikufuni ube ndicela ujonga abantwana abaphansi uthathi ndiyakwazi uclean ungarhaleleka ngaba but ba-entertain ithemba yam brad usive. And by the way usive, you know, he was shot 12 bullets.
Wow.
And he died just like that. And that was it. And eventually now I made a decision to be out of the taxi industry.
Oh, so he wasn't
but you know why is panel as security? You know, why is panel and as security? But we're all associated with the taxi industry.
Yeah.
But Yena, he was never working in the taxi industry. But his brothers had taxis. And now I was driving taxis. Yeah.
So you got caught up in all of that?
Not really. We don't know what happened, to be honest. Okay. Honestly, we don't know what happened. We don't know what happened. But hapo ndiyakhona ukuthi yekubeni ngoba ngibona lo mntana ukhala Hayi ngoma i-opportunity yami yothuthuzela umntana. Hey, isikophe lo mntana muhle.
Bababhiki ke bababomvu.
Hey, ndithi ndiyamthuthuzela ndiyaziwa mose apha as a family friend. Hayi ndithuthuzela apha. Uyayibo? Hey, ndisondele. Hey, ndijonge iTom yami.
Yona iqoma
Hey, iTom yami yini?
Iyavuma ya.
Ezona ngoma hayi finally nomuntu ngoku. Yabo. iTom yami yithi
Iyavuma.
hayi ndithuthuzele lapho ndithuthuzele. Hey, ndithuthuzele. Ndithuthuzele. Hayi ke mveni koko. And this is an exciting part for me, like ebomini bam in my story. This part. Yeah. And then sihlale nje masingabantu abancinci sizincokolela apha. You know, and ukuhlala kwethu siyancokola ke ngoku. Uyayibona? And ke uzofikelela kwinto ezidibene nesex kule ncoko yethu. Uyayibona?
The field is leveled. Makudala.
Uthi ndithi mna hayo ningaske kubekho communication. Andiyenzi into yoba
Pitch le uyapitcha.
nantsike into ngisise engekanantsike. Uyayibona? Mna
Umqembu wami.
You know, andikho selfish. Ndihamba nge-communication. Then once uziva right, ungathi ke ngoku hayi you can come.
Nam you're right.
Could I serious? The guys out there are very unfair. You see?
Sure.
Yeah, so yayilona umbona uncoba esidibene nami uzonwabele uyazihlekela ndithe yanonwabela lo yabo. But ke from up samanye siya kulomthandazo. And nje masimane siya kulomthandazo sendimbona yoba umthandazo ngaphandle kwami ayikho umthandazo. And nami ngaphandle kwakhe hayi umthandazo ayikho. But ke eventually bros
And get caught up very quick. Love. Uzirelax bana. Kusenxa uphela imini ungambonanga lo muntu nama nokho grand. Ikhonto wrong man. Yabo. Xa yomthandazo engekho qonda
ikhonto wrong. But ke ngofisa ngifuna esikolweni sisi, you know, after because depending ngi-invite endlini yami. Ihlala emkhukhwini ewokini. Ihlala ewokini nje. Ayafika nyana. Qoma lo
uyafunda yena that.
Yafunda lapha eSebeauty.
Inzima ke la uthe isifundo besafundi.
Hey,
judgmental ngalo.
Hey,
Judgmental.
mina thina le ndlala ewokini. Ikhaya iwoki yami zaza ukuthethwa ngazo kasi.
Yenziwa okay yena yabona la wena futhi. Cha ungene phakathi endlini stand.
Yazi ngoku clean nokuclean. Nyana ufika. Hey, hleli apha couchini. Sorry ngaphepheti. Andifuni imosha ke into yami nalomntana. But ke ngoku andiyazi noba undunwabele okanye nawe unxa usumdoda.
Because if you move too quick uzayimosha. If you move fast slow.
And ke ngoku noba ndingangajoli naye lo mxa kanti yena maybe akajonga ngamjolo. Okuba nje kube close na ndiyayithanda image yakhe. Uyahleka. Kumnandi nje. Hey bhuti. La ndimehla lapha phansi. Hayi ngathi make ndithi ndingandiyamasaja nje.
Akwenziwa la we.
Yayibo asasuso sana. Yendathi bhuti. Yo,
lethayisana
ngamisa bhuti. Yola kiss.
Yayingeke sayikhonwe.
Yayibona? Yengaske ndiyeke kwalo kiss sometime ngibamba ifone yami xela ichomi yami akhe ilungile.
I'm out now. I'm out of the game.
Bhuti same time ngalamzuzu. Hayi ashushe. Hayi ngifona the rest is his. For mna nangiqomba hayi ke ngumntwana. Since then she became a girlfriend. And not just a girlfriend, a mentor, a coach, someone who wanted more for me. You know, for the first time in my life, you know, having someone around me, you know, who wanted more for me. You get what I'm saying? So, for me, I then realized, you know what, this is a wife material. I don't have the powers, you know, to marry this person now, but I need this person. I need this person. I'm not sure about her, but I need this kind of a person in my life. You know, she's the only person even now baby, this is how I'm feeling right now. She would be like,
without being judged, without anything, without fear.
Yeah, you know?
I feel you, bro.
So, bruh, there's more for you. You know, you can't be here. Yeah, well, so I spent about 2012, 2013, 2014, early 2015, I left TXC industry. I just school in 2015, I was doing sports management.
Okay.
Yeah, I was doing sports management, yeah. In that same year, in that same year, I became Mr. Deputy.
Oh, you always been in the fitness and what? Okay.
They are push and you know? They are push and minimal. They tell a band of got potential
to win this thing.
You know, yes. And I remember entering there. I didn't even have Facebook, bro. You know, 2015 when I got, because I was never exposed to social media, you know, with internet. It's so crazy. I didn't even know anything about YouTube, right? You know. But once I was going there, what was the lab? So that means you can do what you want. I then realized I don't like school. That's one, especially attending the classes 8:30. That's one, no man, I'm quite excited. I'm not fired up.
Give you
yes. And then I realized, no, I'm in the wrong place. And from up, to be honest, I started to be frustrated. Because in Sinethemba ngaphandle with formal education. About 4 years after high school, you didn't build anything for yourself. And now that you're not school, and again you've got this kind of a mindset, which you know you're not gonna go anywhere with this kind of mindset. Then what is it that is for you then in life? This is not this boozer zone. I got frustrated, honestly. But I always had this thing in me saying it's only a matter of time.
There's that thing that you might ask you
that
going to change your life.
You know? And abantu can get on the internet and search whatever. My searches were always about drop out from university.
Then what?
But a billionaire.
Yeah,
you know? That's not the story. You know, because that's what I'm having a man of
and this is what they connect.
Yeah.
Because like I think also no one tells you about no, like guys but it does not necessarily mean this is where but some people are just like talented because it's good to have education, but does not necessarily mean that it's because education is good in general, and for other people they can make a life out of it. Then other people will need education, but you can still life up.
You know, my belief is that we need everything. You know, we need all kind of people. You know, even I'm associated with all kind of people because my belief is that we need people. It's like I can't count my money in details. You know, sometimes when the guy who's responsible for my money tells me about my turnover, I'm like, serious? He's like, yeah, this is how much you've made. You know, I'm like, serious. You know, so we need all kind of people to play their own roles. But for me, I didn't want to be the guy, you know, who's in the office to be told what to do. Come control. You get what I'm saying? To ask someone if my mom is in the hospital, to ask Omnye Umdu to go see Umamam. You get what I'm saying? So now I wanted to be in control
of your time.
Do what I want to do in my own time. Live crazy life, but still, you know, have everything that I wanted. And I always wanted to have impact about me. You know, and none is bonus about limited. You know, when it comes, maybe even the sports management, and I wanted to be the coach in the field. But it is bonus and sense this subject is service. Maybe 3 subjects. Fitness, maybe no understand that, like the human body anatomy. and maybe something, don't just 7, something.
No, this is not
yeah. So you know.
So how do you? Okay, let me like at the time, like who was like, like you looked up to, like someone who like even if it's like someone on TV is like who like a big motivator, this person.
Yeah. Firstly, bro, one has been Itai Malam. You know, Itai Malam is much by being a seller, you know, but Itai Malam was always waking up every single day, exhaling, and go where you kamato, and make it by So that drive, Itai Malam is focused, you know. But now, cool, like you know, watching Amajita, Afanano Anga, Makubano, you know, on TV, on Generation, you know, to fit at the time, he's on shape and all of that.
Nothing will have a lot of care.
Yeah, nothing will I'm sorry, my boy. You know, on shape. But anyway, on shape, young, on TV, you know.
Yeah.
And so he's one guy who was inspiring, you know, and I'm you know, shine and be like a star, just like him, you know. And
in the Eastern Cape,
and he's on shape because I always wanted to be on
shape.
Even when I was a taxi driver, that's when the sales of answer big takes selling the line in but I didn't understand now the nutrition. You know. So Anga played a huge role. Nobody you know. And also, you know, Somizi inspired me in the energy. Living your own life in your own terms. You know.
And the hustle.
Do you get what I'm saying? The hustle.
He works hard.
You know? So and eventually in the process I met guys like DJ Tira, you know. There's at this point in my life, there's no one that I know, you know, works hard like this guy, DJ Tira. He works hard. He works hard, without complaining, you know. He have family, he have a wife and kids, he have a career.
He's an artist,
you know.
Yeah.
He have people to mentor around. You get what I'm saying? There's fans around, but he's able to balance everything
and consistently for so long, for so long.
So Lord, man.
And how do we then? Obviously, how do you get into the Herbalife business?
So remember now, when I realized this could understand, so my mind now was sitting on the possibilities of the business that I can possibly do, you know. So because the businesses need funding. In the same year of 2015, you know, being in varsity, there was a dream, April Street, Dynamic. I was a cleaner then. Cleaner, like the mirrors.
Is that part-time?
Part-time.
Okay.
Let's call it part-time. Okay. But in return of money, for money opportunity to work out.
Okay.
So for now, in one didn't believe your body matters. So if you want shape, you are able to attract all kind of people. Then young ones are because the fact that you're in shape, my belief system was always like, if you're in shape, it's not responsible. And you can build anything.
Discipline.
So almost the more was very important, you know. So from up, then they believe someone was going to come in my life. Andy Borne as someone against the business. I'm not sure if you get my point.
I get it.
You know,
I get it.
That name is footing that in what it is born and you have a bit down. Sugar the Bono Lumlungo City. Hey, young man. What's your name? Listen, man. I feel like I can do business with you. Nambia's Bona, like a young man. Just Buddha City. Hey, my brother, how are you? You know, it was crazy. It was the vision, you know? So my belief system was that someone was going to come in my life. You know, and born as against the business. Yeah, born on that zone. And that was the only thing in Adonai.
That kept you going at the time.
That kept me going. You know, that was the only thing. Because in terms of the funding and anything else, coming from a family that has nothing. So then I was just hoping that someone was going to come to life. Yes.
You're going to see that your desire.
Now the question is, Sinethemba, what's going to make one to be attracted to you? Because
they're not going to smell it.
No. And that was my attitude. So for me, my attitude was the tool to attract this person and was on the opportunity to turn my life around. So at all times, it doesn't matter where I am, at all times, my attitude has to be on point. If I greet anyone, I have to be warm and welcoming because I don't know where I'm going to be meeting this person. I'm not sure if you get this. So at all times, when there was again on the personal problems, I'm not feeling good. I just made a mistake. You know, there's something I'm not proud of. But my attitude has to be on point at all times because it's the vehicle to where I want to be. You know, and I think at this point in our lives, in the better and if there's one thing that I can tell you, I think I've mastered that, you know, because eventually that person came through in my life. And first year I failed 6 subjects. I passed 1.
Yo, out of the 7. Puzzle fitness, puzzle physical.
The puzzle leisure studies.
Okay.
You know, leisure is all about, you know, obligated time, what you do at your own time and stuff like that. Which is the time I'm good even when it comes presenting.
One neglect is 6.
As in your subject, the teacher you hardly smile while up in class. I'll go positive. To get to buy, go vacation. You are not inspiring me, man. So those were the inner conversations that I used to have in class. And I was wrong. You know, my energy was wrong. My attitude was wrong. And
it wasn't for you.
And when I was on bro, you know what? I'm actually good. I'm getting goosebumps in this. People have opportunities. You know, people have opportunities. People are associated with people who have opportunities. I'm not sure if you get what I'm saying. For me, I was never exposed to people like Sne right now.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you get what I'm saying.
I get it.
And other people, they know people like Sne.
They've got the opportunity. They've got the access.
They've got the access.
Networks.
But they don't have the attitude.
The desire, the passion.
You know what I'm saying?
I get you, bro.
They don't have.
I get you. Like,
you know,
I get
the right energy.
Well, I was like, I wish I had me.
Yes.
When I was in the
what
room.
I'm talking about.
Like, I wish I had me. Like, if I had me.
Yes.
And like when I was in high school or when I started university,
Yeah.
I would be further now compared to where I am. And the Banyaban, like your brothers, your cousins, they have you, but they just don't have what you had, which is the desire to succeed.
Yeah.
It is the desire to succeed.
The desire to succeed.
At all costs. And that's what differentiates people. Opportunities is gone, but
opportunities are there.
Opportunities are there. Man.
Opportunities are there.
Yo, I hope abantu people who look like us. Like because opportunities are there, but opportunities don't come to you.
Yo, bro.
You need to go out there and hustle. And then you said that like when you define luck, luck is when opportunity means you prepared. And the fact that you are saying every day, you never knew by exam, which means but they don't know about how like you are always prepared for that moment when that person comes.
Prepared.
That isn't luck.
Prepared.
You are prepared.
Bro, every single person who knows me will tell you, this guy has been warm and welcoming. This guy has been positive.
You put in the word.
He's really lucky that he's where he is. And the reason I was always like that, positive and all of that, not always I was feeling like that.
But you had
But I'm waiting for someone in my life and that person is going to be attracted by my energy. Up on their corners, you know, that person got in my life. You know, because at that time already, on Facebook, was attracted by the kind of captions I would have.
Your positive attitude.
Exactly. So, I failed 6 subjects. 6 subjects.
Out of 7.
Out of 7. You know why? I had the wrong energy, the wrong mindset, the wrong inner conversations. You know, for example, you know, people are going to make time and listen to this right now. You're probably listening, guys. But what are you saying? Now that you are listening to us, what are you saying? You know, what are your inner conversations?
With yourself.
With yourself. You have a choice to say, I know you're lucky. No, you guys are. Or to get inspired. And we can say, oh, wow, oh, I can do this. You know? So for me, I failed because I was never teachable. People fail in school just like I did because they're not teachable.
Because the attitude is wrong.
The attitude.
Because I'm not passing my through to be a failure.
No.
What changes is the mindset. Right.
People have parents, you know, even if by in the process, they were guiding you. But I'll guide you. I need your wrong. You've got mentors, you've got coaches, you've got people around you. But this is the way. But when where are you going?
And the resources are useless. Attitude is useless. You can have everything, resources here, but if like the mindset and the attitude is not aligned, then you end up it's useless as resources will not. So you met this person.
No, this person approached me through a Facebook inbox.
Okay.
So what you see, what's the PE?
Okay.
What you see, hey, listen, can I have your number? And you remember I'm already, you know, Mr. CPUT, so embassy. Yes. So embassy, this is a student. But just to Romania, and also being Miss Universe, or Odwa, or Ayabulela, they are one of the successful models in Cape Town.
That's based on Mississippi.
Yes. We were this crew, you know. You know, we're doing all sort of things like about Black Fridays. There was this guy, AV. You know, he was a mentor at some point in my life. You know, he played a huge role. So there's Amkuti. Abanye Betu in that crew, we got somewhere in our lives because we had the vision.
The vision.
You know, so right now she's, you know, Miss Universe.
No?
Do you get what I'm saying?
I would have thought.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Now.
Do you get what I'm saying? And sometimes
Don't.
but when we walk out of res, the walk has to change. The attitude has to change. The level of confidence has to change.
Yeah.
You know, because you're not entertaining your current situation. You're going forward. You know, and people want someone who's going forward. Even those who are going forward, they want someone who's going forward to say, let's go.
Because you're deep.
You get what I'm saying?
You need to see someone who's like,
yeah, but this lady told me, listen, we can make the money, we can travel the world, we can be in control of our lives, we can do what we want to do in our own time. You know, Sinethemba, this is life. It's a voice note. After the Miguel number, and young in the way it's exactly, you know, it's exactly what I was. Let me say Romania. Romania, I went down on my knees. Because London ben so ni thandazela. The thandazela ke nake bra. London ben ithandazela. Nangu lo muntu.
Dala
ndithe ndithi kuThixo ndithi Thixo uyaphila. Thixo uyayenza imangaliso because London ben so ndiyicela every single day nangu lo muntu. And to join at the time it's 450 rand. I don't have the
where's that student? For 50? Are you kidding me?
I don't have the But remember now the attitude. Immediately, how can I have this 450? I could have said,
I don't have.
Hey, I don't have. Hey, next month. Hey, next month.
This is not for me.
Yeah. But I asked this question, how can I have? But up on your colleague, Umfazo Wamo is a Capitec. She was a girlfriend at the time, 2016. And I said, Nana, there's this business that I'm going to be starting. And at the time, Herbalife was never Lendwaiyo. There was never someone black who was successful in Herbalife, you know? And And I said, I'm about to start this business, business, and I was saying this with power. And you know what my wife said, bro? Unana said, so you need 450. I said, yeah, borrow me 450, I'm gonna give it to you. And one nigga left 450. And I sent a amount to this lady. And that's what I phone in. Was weekend, money. I bet I'm yeah, weekend, money. I was like, I'm going to 450. Okay, listen, go to Makeley and go get your membership back. And I went to that member warehouse. And hey, that's the thing that man is also dancing about. Yeah, I want a phone and that's like I do. My independent distributor. That's like I do. Buttons of my independent distributor. House the warehouse with yeah, we are at a big young bro. Got a phone and how do I make money? I was never attracted with the products. I never believed in the products. I wanted money. I saw a way of making money. I said, how do I make money? What you need to have some protocols to work on. Melen now keep product. They won't come behind us with the product.
They every day.
Yes, they won't come by you and this with the product. Yeah, at that time they are color over Herbalife. By the way, you need to lose weight. So that's a shake. They put me back. That's a shake, you know. And in 3 days, I made 3,450.
Damn.
By selling the product.
Damn.
Remember, I was friends, with the guys that I just mentioned when I was trying to change my life. That's big happy guys, and I told them, listen, guys, we've been friends, we're doing a lot of things together, but right now, I'm about to change my life. And remember, I was even reading this book called The Secret. So already, there were things that I could see with my friends, as much as we were moving somewhere, but they were already doing BTECs, 10 years and all of that, and I just failed. And no one talks about, my academics, where I'm standing, how everything and all of that. So I was like, I love the vibe and everything. And then I started to associate myself now with more people about what Herbalife. I started to study more about Herbalife. In that 3 days, Nantenanere's managers, his students, in lectures, these students, Herbalife. Abantu bra, Herbalife has been there at that time for over 20 years. So buyers. So Abantu, they were just buying the product. And this lady called me saying, wow, my boy,
you're doing
I'm proud of you. I'm like, wow, I need this kind of a person, Yours, Ola. My life has never been the same since then.
Damn, bro.
I focused in this game of Herbalife. As Ban Sitro, there was never someone black and successful in Africa in the time.
At the time.
And Herbalife.
Yeah. And that's what what drove you is basically. Because you didn't have a reference point to say, now I'm more successful. Like you are today. I think a lot of people now who are in the business have a lot of references and say we can see.
Yeah.
And it's easier when you see somebody who looks like you to say, no man, you success. Now I can do it too.
That's great.
Damn, bro, no. Yes.
I think the famous question here, Zola, is, to everyone that could be listening right now is, how do you, in whatever project that you're working on, how do you make this project works when ulala ungajanga? When your family ilala ingajanga, when no one appreciates you, no one who believes in you.
How do you keep
when you go back to your room, go in to your wife, to your partner, but there's fights. Do you get what I'm saying? When you go back home and everyone looks up to you and goes, I'll take a song and a drink, but you can't. But how do you still get the energy to make this project work?
Yeah, that's the key.
How do you do it?
And How do you do that, man? How do you stay positive?
For me, as Babin said, right, it's always about, saying it's a matter of time, and remain focused and understand whatever happens in your life is the right thing to happen because you're going to be a better person. So for me, it's always been about that, saying it's a matter of time.
It's part of the journey.
So there was never someone successful, but the way people, besenza le nto nabo so ndifikele kwa Herbalife ukwabantu abaya phambili abalwayo. Now in my third day I realized this is a serious business. Let me get in the products. Ndathatha la profit bendiyenzile ndathenga iproduct product ndaqala nda-understand nutrition, bayisebenza njani, nda-understand nutrition. I started now to work on my skin. I started now to work on my body goals, naqala ndajima and all of that. Apho ndiyakhona in 7 months, if not 6 months, I bought myself a Toyota Tez.
Damn.
I'm a student, bro.
Damn. I'm telling you.
These students, because they are a passing shuttle, kuneta nandiya kuToyota Tez yami. I'm telling you, the girlfriend yami xa students kuneta ziyi-4 line
when you touch
Tez yami fike ndiyithathe. Bro.
Hey, the power of believing in your dreams, man. The power of believing in your dreams. When there's no one. I see that like you are so big in like as Umxhosa, also Eastern Cape, in like rebuilding. And I see like you're so big in that and going home and investing. Why is that important to you?
Remember my why. My why was my family. My why was my family. And however, when I met my girlfriend at the time, then the why now started to be more. I wanted to marry this girl, I wanted to marry this girl and have like great life with this girl, who's my wife today. So what happens? I think most people sometimes we pray, oh, Thixo wami ngicela undincede, undiphe umsebenzi okanye business yami ihambe kahle, ndizakwenza A no B no C, this and that. And when the money is in your hands, people, they don't do all of that.
You go get that band. So I have lunch. What was that?
Because, for example, with the shoes you can buy, Louis Vuitton, I'm telling you.
Yes, yo.
Ungamako umgqibe umsamente umthini get back So but I idea bangela lolo be more ekhaya then I feel ngongathi if la nto bendicele kuThixo andiyenzi ndawube ndiyamsapothatha okanye andiyabanza ibe kanjani
wenza izithembiso ungekabikho successful
and kaloku mna ndiyathetha nomama ndandimxelela uba kuzawuba njani and the partner yam she always knew what I wanted to do. Mna bendisoloko ndifuna ukususa i-poverty nengcambu zayo. And I always knew the only way to do that is by making sure ntoba ndenza izinto endingafuni uba zenziwe ngabantwana bam when they have their choice. Babe ne-choice to do whatever they wanted. So that is why I've built my home ngela hlobo lililo right now.
Ungacompromise.
No, that is why.
That's so inspiring. Like now similar to you. Like it's a dream of mine, to rebuild the car Eastern Cape before anything, and because I believe like as I mean in the car. Yeah, but so if like I would not fulfill the promises that I made to my grandfather as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like now it was not and then there is stable. So look, big out to there. That's so inspiring. Man. That's so inspiring. I think that's where the future is. Like it's Lali.
And when I was not to cut you, it's but life is too short.
Yeah.
I say that you have anything is possible.
Anytime.
You know. So it's all about doing the things which you know that they will add value into the future or maybe to the legacy that you have. So for me, it's about the legacy, everything that I do. And sometimes some of the other things I don't really like, but I'm setting standards for the future. So for I don't want my abandoned sisters let me carry the pain now.
That's building.
Yes. Let me carry the pain now.
Like build something that will outlive you.
Yeah.
That will outlive you. Like that's so inspiring. Yeah. That's really, really inspiring. So like in general, how has your life changed, man? Like since you've been in this business, growing in the business.
So I'm one of the guys, personally, I'm one of the guys that ubombak opportunity 360 degrees. My life changed like that. And now I'm inspired by myself online. I make time and just think about where I come from. Sometimes now that's in La Becapa. And even how I behave sometimes to the challenges, any divanas every day. I get to be proud of myself. How I respond, and when we try to be able to build a home, to be the kind of a guy that I am towards my family, my kids, the people around me, the value that I bring, especially the black people from where we come from. You see, so this is in this bang about mama to be about change, to be traveling the world. I think 2018 when I was 2018, I started 2016, 2017, 2018 doing Herbalife because I dropped out the scale 9 months in Calais, the business I got Herbalife. And then 2018 on my third year, I got married, and Obe was like, I was serious, let's do this business weekends. Yes, made quick calls. That's a stream sellings wako yeka. And she graduated in public relations there, and that's a stream sellings wako yeka. Let's focus on this now. Let's build this. Because I wanted quality. Now, my dream was never to have a wife that is working. I wanted to have a wife that was going to work with me and who was going to catch up with the kind of mindset that I had. So that even when I'm not around one day, I've got a strong woman. 100%. So got married, went to Paris, and
through this business. First time overseas.
Yeah. Right after we got married, went to Paris, and I built a first double-story engine.
Damn.
Mama couldn't believe you.
No, it says on you can stay.
Yeah, so this was funny. Kwachithwa uyakuthiwa ifestile naleyo upiswe ngazo kubantu abazilindayo. Yeah. We've been in Germany, London, Turkey, Singapore. We've been in so many countries around, traveling with my wife, and in all of these countries, but eventually we so ndizama ukuthi namhlala phansi Brian ndijonga apho ndisuka khona and just appreciate and ego yami ayikwazi uvela because I'm always reminded uba ndisuka so it's not easy someone like me uba aziphathe ngehlobo elinjani okanye abantu abatreate ngehlobo elithile because every day I'm reminded yoba ndingubani ndisuka phi and I understand abanye abantu bayanida my energy so Lord man Lord, you know, otherwise life has changed.
Yeah. And in the business, is there still opportunity for people to change their lives?
Zola,
And what does it take for a person
to succeed.
to succeed in the business?
Uh,
Herbalife.
Kanivumele mntanami yabo ngiqale ndithi abantu abaninzi wena Zola they bacinga into yoba you need to have all the qualities to succeed. Uyabona itshoyo? They want to be smart, intelligent, brilliant, positive, hardworking, and all those kind of things. They might see umzekelo maybe Coach Sne on social media, and they want to have this as in go. I'm not sure if you get what I'm saying. Even now, they want the energy,
They want
fire,
now.
everything now. You get what I'm saying? And upon your commitment, but that is not going to happen now. You have to build it. You know, you're going to set the standards, and you're going to fail. You're not going to show the energy you wanted to show. You're going to fail and fail and fail and succeed, and fail and fail and fail and succeed. And aba bantu bafuna izinto ngoku zonke. Xa zingenzeki ngoku, you know what happens? They give up. And bathi bazi-failures, things are not happening. I'm saying this thing, you are not going to get younger
Immediately.
Be patient on yourself. Fail. Keep going, fail. Win.
Maphela amandla.
Keep going, fail. Win. Kuba. No results. Results. Kuba, results. No results. It's crazy. So Zola, for me, I knew I was here to build something, you know, has never been seen in Africa, you know. So therefore, I knew it was going to take time. And then we knew Cuba. And now that there was never someone young who was successful
In the business.
you know, in this kind of business, I was willing to become
The
the
first.
best one. And I knew be able to make this business work. And abantu around him, they were all willing to help me because I was this boy, you know, who's hunger or positive. Taking impahla zami kwishop ekuthiwa going under. There's over 15 rand, you buy underwear. Izihlangu zeplastic. I want to look apart. And I show up in the meeting, ndibonakala nje as a businessman. Sometimes ngiyihleka ngabantu who are around, but I understood how people are, you know. So ndiyamezela lonto, you get what I'm saying? But ndabe ndisazi ngoba iyadlula. Apho ndiyakhona bra. This business is all about the products. Remember, we are a nutritional company. We are all about nutrition. We can have the products, but if no one owns products, then there's no business. That is why even now I've got all the products every day. Ngisebenza kwezami goals, you know, and so now I've mastered. Nagala, adimnyama, skin, you know. But I started to go body goals, key products, started to join the gym, you know, partner yam, before Abeka Nabandwana, she was in shape because of being succeeded, you know, and now it's been 3 weeks. She's
Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks.
Congratulations.
So what I've mastered is knowing that this business is about results, you know. The reason people know even Herbalife right now because people know, you know, Abantu we have results. I'm not sure if you get what I'm saying. You know, there's individuals who have taken this thing serious, who are working on their own body goals and share what they do on social media. So that's how it became like the way it is right now. You know, so on that, Lanyako start, I also became the top 1% worldwide in the company. And I think that's when now more young people started to see Yoba. Hey, anything is possible. And,
okay, sure.
And now I believe Yoba, anyone can do better in 1 year, in 2 years, you can really top 1%. But what I focused on was just using the products. You know, just tell people Yoba Jine's products is Zenza. You know, would you be willing? You know, to try the products out and make coach and recruit abanye abantu to do the same thing.
Same thing.
That's how network marketing business works. You know, and just have the right energy, you know, to work with people and forget about your own, like ubuwena bakho. You don't have to show that. Principles are there in terms of how to work with people. And then if you apply that, you're gonna be unstuck.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk about family quickly. Now you mentioned you, Koskazi, Usanda, and all of that. How many kids do you have?
I've got 4.
4.
Chatu Norma, I've got 2. And I've got these twins that I got when I was still building my business, which is 2017. Of which they say called Fazwam at that time. She was a girlfriend. And they called at that time. And at that same year, Ilale Couching, up at town, we were not really, you know, spending time on Fazwam for a year, 2017. And our relationship was already over 6 years. You know, to make it requires the mindset to keep going when there's a lot of things around. So I've got those boys, and I've got this one, they're boys as well. You know, so I've got 4 kids, and they're all boys.
Yeah, and no matter father.
Legacy boy.
Hey, I'm the two.
Yeah, legacy boy.
Always start with the future, but legacy boy.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Sure.
So how has that impacted like where now in terms of the life back then?
Yeah, I'm grateful. You know, it's like the boys when I had the twins. You know, back in 2017. I was like, oh my God, you know. At that point, if I was someone else, you know, because when they get into, and people knew me as this kind of a guy. And now my dream was to have kids. Because at that time I was 27. Looking at my friends around, they had kids and all of that. Then by innocently but up in the corner today, and I think both of us, I and my wife, we at this point it's one of our biggest, you know, blessings. You know, so for me now. Because I've got more reasons.
More wise.
To work. Yeah, more wise. So, in to focus more.
So Oman, out of everything that you've done, like just the last question, what is the ultimate goal? God, you're going to say, you're going to back now. Can you talk upstairs? Yeah, we're going to hire. I did it.
Bro, you know. To be honest, at this point in my life, it's more of changing people's lives. We can have all the money we have in the bank, but maybe you can agree with me. You don't think about the money you have, no, but you think about the things you've done for people daily, you know. And I know at this point in my life, you know, billionaires, multi-millionaires, people are growing up, things are changing and all of that, and for me, it's all about the change, you know, the difference that you make in people's lives, you know. So for me, what makes me proud is the organization that I have, the massive numbers of people who look up to me, and other people, they change their lives because they've seen my story, they've heard my story, you know. The people that I'm able to run a space and say, hey, listen guys, anything is possible for you. And being the Sinethemba that I am, you know, to young people and say, listen, you've got to focus. It's great to be in the streets, have fun, all of that. But you've got to remember, that is not adding value into your future. So I'm more proud of the person that I became and the impact that I have. To be specific. You know, I'm grateful, you know, for a home, for the money and all of that, you know. But to say it's possible for you, like with the guys in Salana's rapper, you know, yo, Sne, how it feels, you know, Oklahoma Bay, you know. I've got 2 choices there, to dwell more on how it feels. Or maybe just to touch a beat, but be more of saying, hey, listen, it's possible for you. And by the way, you're on track. In 1 year, 6 months' time, you could be my neighbor, you know. And instead that, to sort of, you know, of how it feels. I'm getting a city, it's possible for me. wow, you know. So it's more of changing people's life, right? To be honest, and that's it. That's what fulfills my heart.
How more like the difference that you've made?
The difference that I've made, the difference that I'm making, it's priceless.
Yeah.
Because remember, at this point, maybe I've got chances to buy whatever that I want. You know, so I'm used with that happiness of, you know, buying something and getting that happiness. But there are happiness you can't buy.
Yeah,
And you have to create it.
Yeah.
And that's the one that is fulfilling the heart.
Hey,
You know?
man.
So it was a hard man.
Yo, ngiyabulela Hotman, man.
Yes,
Thank you so
that's
much.
man.
Like, I know that this conversation is going to spark something in someone's life.
Yeah.
I mean, we may not, like, there's conversations, we may not change everyone's life, but even if we change one person, that person will change the next, and will make a positive contribution. Your story is so inspiring. It's a story of hope. It's a story of unga give up, you know, fighting for what people are, and it deserves to be told. You know, people deserve to know that there are people like you out there, you know, who made something out of nothing. So, I'm going to ask you rapid fire questions, quick questions. Answer quickly if you can. So, which subject were you the worst at in school?
Management.
What is your biggest fear?
My biggest fear.
It can be a thing, it can be whatever.
My biggest fear.
It's made of no fear, right?
I do, man, but I'm thinking. My biggest fear. It's losing.
Losing.
Yeah.
Summer or winter?
Summer.
If you're not doing fitness, what can you be found doing?
Relaxing later time.
Yeah. One thing you love about your wife the most?
Oh, the heart.
Yeah.
The heart.
What can be like 3 words that best describe who you are?
Focused, hardworking, and responsible.
Thank you for that. Tabulela once again, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this conversation as much. Like I've been left inspired now to work on my goals, to focus, and I hope that Nani, you know, you'll be able to take something out of the story, take something out of this conversation, and you can find Coach Sne on Instagram, right?
Coach Sne.
And Coach Sne.
Yeah.
Facebook as well.
Sinethemba Ntsangani.
Yeah.
I've got a page by her.
Yeah, so you can follow him on those platforms if you want to learn more about him and his story, what he does. So thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, comment if you have anything that you'd like to say, if there's anything that stood out to you about this conversation. Hit us up, let's engage. Township.